everybody, and welcome back to OC Lazer Grand Arena. We've got a cheeky little matchup here today with Australian versus a New Zealand player. Bit of brotherly love here amongst the two countries on the bottom right there of the globe. It's gonna be a pretty interesting one actually. It's gonna be aknzx versus 2oomer, or 2oomer. It's not actually 2oomer for anyone unaware. That is actually a Mealbus. It is a name change. So, not the legendary 2oomer, but a Mealbus, who's actually been a bit of a big hitter amongst the up-and-comers in both Australia and New Zealand. Been around for quite a long time though, but has recently, I feel like, been pushing skill cap pretty heavily and putting up some pretty good performances. I mean, as we saw from his match yesterday, doing pretty crazy well in that. And of course, I mean, aknzx is no stranger to pretty much anyone, I think, in the scene now, who've kind of proven himself, marked his name down in the scriptures, I think, so to speak, with some of his performances in OWC, especially last year, and expecting big things from him as well, moving on. But here we are, moving into the round of 16, of course, doing multiple stages on the same weekend here, so we're already straight into the round of 16, and I do believe that we are now into double elim. So I don't think the loser of this match is going to be eliminated from the tournament. Of course, in round of 32, it was single elim. So now, second life on the line. Well, second life not on the line yet. If I'm correct on that, I'm pretty sure that it's double elim now. But into our drafting phase, of course, if you're unfamiliar. Players here gonna choose maps to pick and ban prior to the match being played. As you can see over on the right side, we're going to have our drafted order, and that is the order the maps are going to get played in. And all of the maps are going to get played, no matter what here. After this match concludes, after all the maps do get played, we are going to see the winner based on the total score they accumulated. So something to keep in mind if you're coming from what you're used to in OSU tournaments, it's a bit different here for the Lazer 20 debut. Double elim next week. Okay, excuse me. So I was incorrect on that. So double elim will be starting next week. So still in the single elim phase. Thank you, Codian. So yeah, lives on the line here for both of these players, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure are the final Australian and New Zealand players in the tournament remaining. And here they are, both up for elimination in round of 16. So, you know, a scary prospect for the Oceanic region right here. But picks and bans mostly out. Would say something to be scared of if you are a Mealbus or 2oomer, I guess. 2oomer. I don't know. I don't really know how to refer to him in this match, but we'll figure it out. You're gonna be scared of those DTs up against someone like aknzx. Anyone familiar with his game, I would say, knows that aknzx is a terrifying DT player, especially in tournament. I would say one of the most consistent DT players in tourney we may have seen, like in recent years. The guy is crazy consistent in DT. I say that now, watch him just fumble the bag, but it's all good. Not too sure what 2oomer here is gonna go for. Up against Akins, but he's going to be banning a hidden one, which is an interesting one to take out. Taking out one of those DTs, of course, does make sense. And opts to pick for a No Mod 3, which is going to be our techie map for this week, a mirror map. Kind of makes sense. and going in for that Hard Rock 2, which is CS 7.8, I believe. If I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, it is. So, sticking with sticking with that tech map, a lot of cut doubles, cut patterns, accelerating patterns, and going in for that very, very precise Hard Rock 2, which also has some funny accelerating patterns in it as well. It's definitely not stock standard, and you would expect it would be conventional considering it's CS 7.8, but no, absolutely isn't. One of the most volatile maps in the pool, if I had to give you one. But gonna be getting to the end of the draft here, and Kaleidoscope's gonna be the final one to round things out. Which, it seems to be a bit of a trend actually so far. A lot of the matches yesterday, Kaleidoscope tending to be that fifth map that neither player picked nor banned, and just kind of getting filled in the slot. Here it is again. Which, I mean, if we're gonna go off of the picks and bans, should favor Emilbus here, considering he did pick tech and he did pick Hard Rock, and Kaleidoscope is a Hard Rock tech map, so that to consider. Just wouldn't count aknzx out of pretty much any map, so we'll see. I'll be impressed to see if Emilbus can put up a good fight against someone like aknzx right now, because I do definitely consider aknzx as probably the favorite. And surely they wouldn't be in a VC talking while they play. That would be such an uncharacteristic thing for these two players to do. Absolutely not. But here we go. Going to be getting into the first map of the match. It's going to be that No Mod 3, this Tech Mir map. Delirium. Here we go. No one faltering quite yet on this build-up. Accuracy's neck and neck. Combos neck and neck. So we move into the first true difficult part of the map now. Here we go, getting with these cut quads, cut doubles, space triples, kick sliders, pretty much every element of tech mixed into this Ki. And both players murdering it, but there goes Emilbus to fall. Finds the first drop. aknzx holding on for dear life through this Ki though. Accuracy still neck and neck, and of course with the new laser scoring system, it is going to favor accuracy a bit more than previously. So the accuracy for Emilbus here is still going to be doing work, but aknzx just holding on. There he goes, finally drops that combo. He's managed to build up a 50k lead. Moving towards the second half of the map, but a nice comfy cushion for him as these players continue to shred all of these cut patterns. Really not just cut doubles, not just cut triples, but random single notes thrown in here, random wiggles, back and forths. Really just the entire restaurant menu of tech. And Emilbus unable to find any headway into the map as aknzx continues to just completely shred this. Oh, actually, don't really know what happened there. Of course, it couldn't have been a note lock in Lazer, so looked like it was, but of course, Couldn't have been just perhaps an under aim on the accelerating part of that stream there. But it's 110k, so it's tough. It's a tough mountain to climb for Emilboss, but of course, biggest score you can get, it's going to do you dividends for your future picks. Total score is the name of the game here in this format. Final 30 seconds here. 1/3 kick sliders, no one getting caught up just yet. So much control required in a map like this. Both aim and finger control. Those wiggle quints into the single afterwards there to trip you up, to make you over tap. Both players not faltering, but there goes Emilboss's combo. Into the ending. Still a great score from Emilboss, but Aknz, I mean, 730k, man. Incredible performance from both of these players, honestly. Very, very good tech players. That's, definitely looks like one of the more brutal maps in the pool as well. Both players doing phenomenally well on that. So a good start for Aknz as he moves into his 2 DT picks. It's going to bode very well for him. A little bit scared for Emilboss because these DTs. I mean, I'm going to have to give the prediction that Aknz is going to win on both. So it's going to be up to these probably last 2 maps for Emilboss to start making a comeback. But we'll have to see how well he can do on the DTs. That's going to be the real question. Can he still get decent scores? Can he keep the score lead? You know, a very distant score lead out of Aknz's reach. DT3 here. 1.6 rate change, 262 BPM, AR 10.5. Something worth noting. Something I mentioned yesterday. It's not an approach rate we're used to seeing in early rounds of almost any tournament. You know, barring the absolute pinnacle of OSU tournament play. It's something we usually see in very late rounds in most tourneys. And not to mention this map, although it's quite conventional, it does have some weird patterns that trip you up. Some doubles sprinkled in there on the AR 10.5 amongst other triples and bursts, kick sliders. Definitely can trip you up, but for a player like Aknz, I don't think it's going to be any worry whatsoever. Emilboss, however, finding that combo drop earlier, but still keeping up here in terms of score, in terms of accuracy. So both players looking relatively comfortable on this, honestly. Emilboss losing that combo yet again. Aknz, though, I mean, I said it before the match started. This guy is a DT consistency freak, man. Did it for Australia and OWC and continues to do it in solo play. He's not almost a 1-digit for nothing. pulls home a gorgeous FC on that. But still to be said that Emilbus put up a magnificent score as well. 740k, keeping the score deficit within reach. But what do you do against an FC like that? Even though Emilbus is still doing a fantastic job at trying to get this close, aknzx is still 400k in the lead. Just with these monstrous performances. And now we move into another Akens pick. This is a laser scoring system, so it works functionally in a similar way to Score V2. However, the accuracy weighting is a bit higher than it was previously. I don't know the exact percentage, but accuracy means a lot more than it did previously. Combo, of course, still mattering a lot. It's just accuracy a bit more weighted than it was in Score V2. So something to keep a lookout for on these maps now. Accuracy mattering even when the combos do manage to drop. We are into this DT2, and this one is an onslaught of finger control and bursts. I think something both of these players will probably be able to handle. Akens, I think, to more of an extent, of course. Combos both still intact as we only have a minute of this map remaining. Already over halfway through. Oh, and there goes Emilbus on the space triple. Finds a miss aim on the DT2. I mean, it's just a masterclass from Akens. Another masterclass. Dare I say Emilbus would have beaten most of the players in this tourney on both of those DTs, but no, Akens just FCs both of them with phenomenal accuracy. And now, as much as Emilbus has been managing to try and keep up with Akens' score lead, it's accumulated to almost a 700k lead now, 650, which is just really, really hard to pull back when you move into these hard rocks. But there's the chance now. Emilbus has got to win this next pick, and he's got to win it pretty convincingly. We're gonna have to see probably a 300 or 400k score lead here from Emilbus to start trying to make his way back, claw this score back. Here we go. Very, very volatile map. Probably one of the harder maps in the pool from what I remember. CS 7.8, but not just that. You would expect, as I was saying in the pre-match here, that you would expect this to be conventional at this CS. But no, it's not at all, as you can already tell. This map is just not conventional in the slightest. Look at these spaced quints off of those triples. Brutal. Alongside the anti-aim, patterns like that, man. You can already see Emilbus tripping up substantially. Akens managing to get through most of it, though. Ooh, slight under-aim on that space triple for Akens, but Emilbus there to trade, which is not what he needs. Definitely needs to start building an advantage, and it just isn't going to be happening. Yeah, these circles are straight up smaller than the cursor right now. And it's not even a normal conventional map either. Oh, Emilbus, miss aim on a double. Miss aim on a stack double there into a slider. Brutal pattern to miss on, but it really can happen when the circles are this small. You can miss on almost anything. Akens going to be feeling really good after seeing that score difference. knowing he has a 650k lead already solidified and seeing himself in the lead. He's gonna eliminate really any forms of nerves, I think, moving forward in the rest of this match. Yeah, and I mean, you can see these scores. Even though neither player was really able to hold much of a combo during this map, look at those scores, man. On Score V2, this would have been considerably lower, but thanks to both of the players' pretty damn good accuracy, kept their scores fairly high. Nice solid 700k from aknz, bit over 500k from Emilbus here. And, well, now it's an 800k lead. And, pretty much, I think, at this point, is going to put winning out of the realm of possibility for Emilbus. I think we would need an absolute miracle on this final map. I'm talking aknz 150k, Emilbus FC. But I don't see this happening with the way aknz is playing right now. So we might be saying goodbye to the New Zealand player here. So we move into this final map. It's going to be a Hard Rock Tech Pit Kaleidoscope. Yeah, whole draft gets played prior to the match. So we get 2 picks from either player, alongside several bans, and then the final map gets floated. That doesn't get picked or banned. And that's the last map that gets played. And that's going to be this one. Yeah. And with that 270k from aknz, that is officially going to lock Emilbus out of any chance of winning this match, unfortunately. So there it is. That is going to be GG's, but still got the rest of this map to play out. There's a minute remaining. Oh, aknz wiggling those stacked patterns there. Just didn't need to. Emilbus finding a couple struggles into this section, but aknz just looking too good, man. Looking like a contender, honestly, for this tournament. The way he's playing today, dare I say, one of the best performances we've seen, period, so far on this map pool. Out of aknz, right here. Unreal stuff from him. Gonna be one of the very few players to even hit 4 million. Emilbus actually running away with this one in the latter half, though. Getting a nice combo. Finally actually wins one of the maps, but it's all for naught. As aknz is going to take this one away with about a 700k lead. And unfortunately, that does mean Emilbus, or 2oomer, is going to be departing from the tournament there with that loss. No double elimination until the top 4. So, say goodbyes to Emilbus there. Playing very well, I won't lie. Losing the match that jarringly with a 3.6 mil total score is kind of unprecedented. With a lot of these matchups probably coming up today, probably would have been the winner of with scores like that. But is going to go out to possibly one of the favorites in aknz for this tournament specifically. I think with a performance like that as well. I think it's fair to call him one of the favorites. Doing one of, if not the best so far out of all the matches that are played. Of course, the variance, there is of course variance in terms of the maps that are picked, you know? Some of the maps are going to be easier to FC than others, and that could be the case. But yeah, if we're just to look at things in black and white here for a moment, aknz actually tying Flying Tuna with the highest score so far out of all of the matches played. 4.25 million, both Flying Tuna and aknz getting 4.25 million there. So very, very close. Let me actually have a look. Yeah, aknz actually beating Flying Tuna by 30k. So highest score so far out of everyone who's played. Very well done from aknz, and that is going to do it for this match. Again, goodbye to Emilbus. GG's. He is going to be exiting the tournament, but next up is kind of a banger in 14 minutes from now. It's going to be Welter versus Sigi. And I mean, if we're just talking pure names of fame, so to speak, the one you would expect to come out on top would probably be Sigi in a match like that, but Welter is a demon, man. I've seen this guy perform in OWC. Welter is no joke of a player. Really, really good player as well. So that's probably going to be a banger, and that's going to be in 14 minutes from now. So do not go anywhere. Sorry, not 14. That's 34 minutes. I'm blind. The stream I'm viewing it was a little blurry. I couldn't quite see. So it's 34 minutes from now. Excuse me. So that's going to be at 11 UTC. So stick around for that one. I've been Mavs, and we'll see you guys in about half an hour. Take care.